Isn't it? It's the nicest place to live.
No.
Huh?
No.
No? You're sure?
Yes.
Everything is very easy?
No.
So I'm going to read something here in conjunction with the topic. The blazing forest fire. So you can put yourself in and see how blazing and you're burning within that blazing fire of forest fire. Okay? So we're going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam. It's a very, very important literature translated in English by Srila Prabhupada. And by the way, it was Srila Prabhupada's disappearance day yesterday. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. And in my opinion, I don't think there was another living entity like Srila Prabhupada that ever walked this earth planet. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. For me, he's one of the greatest souls that ever walked this earth planet. And I'm going to tell you why, even in conjunction with this forest fire. So we shall first read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 1, questions by Vidura, text 21. Tatra tatra ta sursrava sudvinashtim vanam yatavenujavani samsrayam samspardaya dhagdam atanu sochan saraswatim pratyakiyaya tushnim. You can hear me very clearly? Word for word translation, you can repeat. Tatra, tatra, there, ata, thereafter, sursrava, heard, shud, kinsman, vinashtim, all dead, vanam, forest, yata, as much as, Venujavani, fire, due to the bamboos, Samsrayam, friction, with one another, Samspardaya, by violent passion, Dagdam, burned, Ata, thus, Anusochan, thinking. Saraswatim, River Saraswati. Pratyak, westward. Iya, aya, went. Tushnim, silently. Translation by Srila Prabhupada and purport. You can repeat a few words after me. At the place of pilgrimage, at Prabhasha, it came to his knowledge, that all his relatives died due to violent passion, just as an entire forest burns due to fire, produced by the friction of bamboos. After this, he proceeded west with the river Saraswati flows. So I'm going to read the purport. You can listen very carefully, and then we'll analyze the translation and purport of His Divine Loving Grace Srila Prabhupada. Purport. Both the Kauravas and the Yadavas were relatives of Vidura, and Vidura heard of their extinction due to fratricidal war. The comparison of the friction of forest bamboos to that of passionate human societies is appropriate. The whole world is compared to a forest. At any moment, there may be a fire, there may be a flare-up of fire in the forest due to friction. No one goes to the forest to set it on fire, but due only to friction between bamboos, fire takes place and burns an entire forest. Similarly, in the greatest forest of worldly transaction, the fire of war takes place because of the violent passion of the conditioned souls illusioned by the external energy. Such a worldly fire can be extinguished only by the water of the mercy cloud of saints, just as a forest fire can be extinguished only by rains falling from a cloud. So I'm going to read the verse and translation once more. Then text 21. Tatrata sursrava survinashtim vanam yatavenuja vani samsrayam samspadaya dagdamatanu sochan saraswatim pratyagiyaya tushnim. Can repeat after me a few words. At the place of pilgrimage, at Prabhasha, it came to his knowledge that all his relatives had died due to violent passion, just as an entire forest burns due to fire produced by the friction of bamboos. After this, he proceeded west, where the river Saraswati flows. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasad Bhutali Srimati Bhagavata Daso Sumanta Surinam Danamo Bhajam Samji Amadri Shri Krishna. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasad Bhutali Srimati Bhagavata Sri Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pratalini Nilse Sunyavadi Pastashtadi Chardalini. Hare Krishna. So this is an analogy. What is an analogy? That we can compare something with another thing. And what is being compared here, right here?
Forest.
Huh?
Forest fire.
Forest fire with
With the world.
the society that we are, yes, that society or the world that we are living in. It is compared to the forest fire. When there is a forest fire, what happens? Huge forest fire.
Destruction.
Trees.
Huh?
All the trees.
Everything burns. Destruction.
And the animals,
They run away.
are they very excited, happy?
No.
No, they are in total anxiety because they can feel that blaze and that burning within themselves because they know they are in problem. Like that, this material nature is ablaze. It's on fire. Are we right or wrong? And a blazing fire in the forest is not something small, it's big. And you can compare that forest fire to this material nature. Are the living entities very happy?
No.
Are they excited?
No.
There's so much of problems in society, beginning right from the home. Right from the house, there's so much of fire. From small, it expands bigger and bigger and bigger to the cities, to the towns, to the country, and to the whole world. It is on fire. Right now, what's happening? That's on fire, yeah? War. Israel and? Yes. They are fighting with one another. Ukraine and Russia. Pakistan, and a matter of fact, almost all the countries in the world, they are on fire. Means they're quarreling with each other because of their burning desire to satisfy their senses. When the senses cannot be satisfied, then one becomes very, very angry about it. And then due to that friction of anger, then one begins to have some quarrel, and the quarrel gets bigger and it turns to physical violence. And it happens right from the family. Even within children and parents, and between husband and wife, girlfriend and boyfriend. The whole society is like that on fire. Why? Because they cannot understand the message of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. If one can only understand the messages of the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, then there will be no friction. There will be no friction. Because you can understand, who are you? Anybody answer? Huh? Who are you?
Spirit soul.
Yes, you're a spirit soul. You're not this body. And who are you a part and parcel of? You're a part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what is your constitutional position? You're an eternal servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So therefore we are meant to engage in devotion to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And what is the ingredient of the devotion when you engage in? Because the Lord is that ingredient himself. When you engage in devotion to one another, knowing we are all parts and parcels of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all of us. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita chapter 14 verse 4, Am Bija Pradapita, I am the seed-giving father of all living entities. Not only just human society, even the animal society. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, is the Father. So therefore, because we are acting on the bodily platform, trying to engage our senses to enjoy separately from Krishna, therefore we are struggling and we are suffering, and this forest is on fire. It is burning to satisfy our desire. And if a huge forest is on fire, how do we put it off? How do you put that off?
Fire, water.
You think water can put that off ordinarily, like the fire brigades? A huge fire that is on fire, the forest that is on fire, you think the fire brigade can put it off?
No.
Not possible. Because a blazing forest fire is not easy to put out. The only way it can be put out by heavy downpour of rain, as is stated here in scripture. Heavy downpour of rain will put the forest fire off. So like that, the blazing fire within our heart that is burning within us to satisfy our senses, how can that forest fire be put off?
Devotional service.
Huh?
By devotional service to the Lord.
Yes, through who?
Surrender to Krishna.
Sorry?
Surrender to the Lord.
Yes, but before you can surrender, who is going to tell you about the Lord?
Spiritual master.
Spiritual master.
Give yourselves a big hand. Yes, the spiritual master. You have to have a guru. But you can't have any bogus guru. Because today in the material world, there are so many rogues and rascals, gurus. They will tell you, you do like this, in 6 months you can become God. Can you become God? No, that's nonsense. Prabhupada says God is God and dog is dog. Dog cannot become God. That is the foolish mentality of someone who thinks an ordinary person who can perform some magic or perform some yogic, he got some yogic power, he can perform some yoga, and somebody worship him and think that he is God. Krishna is not like that. He is the Supreme Personality of God, and he doesn't have to practice yoga. No practice he has to have. That is there, the quality of he is there in him. And what we show in the material world of yoga is just some to satisfy the senses that I am somebody powerful. I can become God. You can never become the Supreme Personality of God. So therefore we have to be careful And you have to have a spiritual master coming down in a disciplic succession, a bona fide spiritual master. There are 4 sampradayas. The 4 sampradayas: Brahma, Gaudiya, Vaishnava Sampradaya, Rudra Sampradaya, Lakshmi Sampradaya, and Kumara Sampradaya. You can come down in any one of this disciplic succession, beginning from the Supreme Person of Godhead. And you follow that process, then you know that you're following in the path of the absolute truth. If you don't have a disciplic succession that you're following, that means you are misdirected in society. So we in this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, we belong to the Brahma, Madhava, Gaudiya, Sampradaya. So therefore it is bona fide. And our last successor, who is the last successor of this Gaudiya Sampradaya? His Divine Loving Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. That is the last successor. And we are all under him. The other spiritual masters is just like the sun. And the spiritual masters, his disciples, they are like the sunshine. They are the sun's rays, and they are giving the message of what Srila Prabhupada gave. And Srila Prabhupada is giving the message of what his spiritual master gave. And it goes backwards like that: his spiritual master, his spiritual master, his spiritual master, then to Lord Brahma, and the beginning personality is Sri Krishna, who gave the first knowledge imparted to Brahma through his heart. The Lord Krishna imparted the first knowledge of Srimad Bhagavatam to Lord Brahma. And it came down in disciplic succession to Srila Prabhupada. And indeed, why I said, we are very, very fortunate to be under the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada, who has given us this message. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. And painstakingly, he transformed, he translated all these Vedic literatures, the Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and Nectar of Devotion, Nectar of Instruction, so many translations. He did 80 volumes of books for the living entities. Why? Why? The message that we were just speaking about, what is happening to the living entities in the material world? Huh? They are on fire. They are burning within their heart and their mind. And there is so much of problem, isn't it? And so many suicides, so many accidents, so many murders. A policeman is sitting right here. He will tell you. I don't have to speak. He will tell you. And he knows what the situation it is. And it is like fire. And they are situated, these policemen, they are doing a fantastic job. They are standing in a very dangerous position. Anything can happen to them. You know? Because there's so much of cowardice in this material world. Why? Because of envy and hatred. They want to enjoy their senses, not worry about somebody else. Why? Because they cannot understand that you are not this body, that you are a spirit soul, we are all parts and parcels of Krishna. If you know that message, ABC of spiritual life, then you can handle all kinds of situations. That is why it is very imperative that even our leaders in society, our state presidents of the countries, they all should get one copy of Bhagavad Gita and they should study. Even the schools, they should allow Bhagavad Gita to be a subject matter. Is it true or not?
True.
Why? Just because the teachers are teaching about biology in school, right? They're teaching about this body. But they are not telling you how this body is sitting alive in the classroom. If you take a dead body and put it on the chair, just place it there. Can the teacher teach the dead body?
No.
Never days. You can, from now to Timbuktu, you can speak to that dead body. It will never reply anything. And you can't even communicate. But yet, they are speaking about the body, its parts and everything, but they are not telling you about the spirit, soul inside this body. They're telling you everything about the body and how to become better, earn bigger money, big bank balances, and how to enjoy this material world. Are we enjoying? They don't tell you how to get out of the suffering. They put you more into suffering. That is why Srila Prabhupada termed the material education, going to school, he compared it to a slaughterhouse. Why? Would you send your child to a slaughterhouse? Nobody will send their children to a slaughterhouse. But how is that we are sending our children to slaughterhouses? Now if I tell you this, then you're going to stop your child from going to school? No, you shouldn't. Let them go to school, but you should do your duty to teach your child the proper direction. That you're not this body, your spirit, soul, part and parcel of Krishna, the Supreme Lord. Then only his heart won't burn like fire to enjoy his senses. He'll know from the very beginning, from a 5-year-old child, how to handle a situation and grow him to be a proper gentleman in society. Otherwise, this whole forest fire of this material world will go on burning, and eventually everyone will be destroyed. Like the wars that are carrying on. This can actually turn into a third world war. There's a possibility it can break into a third world war, because you can see how everyone are facing each other with what kind of power, energy. What is that? Nuclear. And they're all ready with it, facing each other. And one false move, everyone is doomed. They're actually making that to kill themselves. Nothing else. Why? Because they cannot understand. They think they will be safe if they let that go. And that is their foolishness. So therefore we have to put this fire off. And we are very, very fortunate indeed. Srila Prabhupada left India and when he was at the age of 69, he left India alone with no money, only 40 rupees, and a trunk full of books, that Srimad Bhagavatam, 3 Bhagavatams that he translated in India. And he left on a ship called Jaladuta. Painstakingly suffered 2 heart attacks. And then when he went there, he knew no one, alone. Prabhupada went single-handed. And he had some references, and somehow he got some place to stay. And from there he started. And from under a tree, Srila Prabhupada started the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. You know how he started? How did Srila Prabhupada start? Just a pair of carters, no mridanga, no dances like Shiva Bonga, no one. Only a pair of carters. Prabhupada sat under a tree. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Like that, Prabhupada started sitting under a tree. And what kind of a people? Those were people where the heart was burning like fire. They wanted to enjoy something. High on drugs. Drug addicts, vagabonds, drunkards. And they all came by Prabhupada. And they told him, "Oh man, what are you doing?" He said, "I am simply chanting. Can you all join me?" And in that drunk mood, Prabhupada is chanting and they are all dancing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And as time went on like that, they started changing their lives just by that mantra, Maha Mantra. It's called Maha Mantra. And then finally, Prabhupada, somebody found a storefront, small shop. And on the shop it was written, Mercedes gift. Right? And so they took over the shop. And Prabhupada started his program in that shop. And all these drunkards and all that, they used to come. Prabhupada used to cook himself. And he should feed all those people who come. That was invited, even the drunkards and all that, And he should, when they are gone, he should clean all the dishes himself. Every day. And eventually it started growing and growing and growing. One single man. And today we have the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Of course, in the beginning there was no International Society. Prabhupada went and registered the name International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The registration officer looked at this, he said, "Where is your International Society?" Prabhupada said, "Don't worry, that's the name of that society." He didn't have anybody. And they never knew that it's going to become international. That was the power of Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. And there was that. Srila Prabhupada started the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And where do you think he started? In Thompson's Park. Where is Thompson Park?
New York.
Huh?
New York.
In the United States of America. Are they very united? They are most departed and disintegrated society. They call them united. So Prabhupada went to unite them. They are the most divided country in the world. And the lowest class is the United States of America. When you tell the people, my son is going to the United States to study, people say, "Wow, wonderful." But it's the most degraded place in the world, where all kinds of sense gratification, sinful activity is performed. That is a blazing forest, and that forest fire actually from the United States is spread all over the world today, spreading sense gratification, and the people are burning. And Srila Prabhupada, just like the forest fire that can be put out by rain, heavy rainfall, Srila Prabhupada, carrying the books of his knowledge, he went and showered this knowledge on all the living entities in every town and village, from city to city, from town to town, single-handed. In 12 years, he circled the globe 14 times, single-handed, going from one city to another city, and he spread Krishna consciousness. And today we have International Society for Krishna Consciousness, and all the living entities who surrendered to Krishna through Srila Prabhupada. This knowledge which is like rain falling on the blazing fire, they have all become so happy, and they are very, very successful in life. And my example is one example I can give. Very unsuccessful person, and difficult times, and here I am sitting today preaching the mission of Srila Prabhupada. With nothing, I don't have a bank balance. My wife has gone. She passed on. And yet, with the knowledge of Krishna consciousness, I am living on very peacefully and happily. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So therefore, anyone who can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Can I tell you one joke about this? And I'm going to stop there. Can I tell you one joke?
Yes.
There was one person came to Srila Prabhupada and he told Srila Prabhupada, this society is so wonderful. You chant in the streets and you dance, you're so happy. You smile at one another. How are you so happy? Prabhupada said, we chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, and you become happy. Then he asked Prabhupada, it is nice, but is it only one, is that song only one line you sing? You haven't got any other new song? Srila Prabhupada said, yes, it is only one line song that we sing. Do you know what is the meaning of that? If you know that, you would not even ask for what it will do to you. It will change your whole life to become most peaceful and most happy. Because it has the complete potency of the Supreme Person of God as energy within that chanting. Because the name of Krishna and Krishna is non-different. It's non-different. All Krishna's energy that is created, all this creation, both spiritual and material. Within the Maha Mantra, Krishna has inserted all his energy into that mantra. So therefore when you chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Don't think so, it's so cheap. It's one song. It is so powerful that it can free you for the rest of your life. So therefore we have to be very thankful to Srila Prabhupada. And it was his disappearance day yesterday. He came, and Prabhupada even lying on his deathbed when he was leaving his body. Do you know what Srila Prabhupada was doing?
Preaching. Preaching.
With his closed eyes on the bed, he was actually speaking Srimad Bhagavatam. And even in the 10th canto that was, Prabhupada actually mentioned South Africa. Srila Prabhupada ki. Can you imagine he's lying there? You read in the 10th canto, Prabhupada is speaking about South Africa, leaving his body, he's remembered South Africa. So how fortunate we are. Srila Prabhupada ki. Indeed, that's why I said, there's no personality that has ever walked this earth like Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. You might get annoyed by me for keep shouting Srila Prabhupada. You can. Doesn't matter. I will always glorify Srila Prabhupada for what he has done to this living entity. He came and showered this knowledge, shower of blessing and mercy. And if you absorb this and distribute his literature, the fire that is burning within your heart like a forest fire, will actually be completely put off. That is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and his transcendental literature, these books. That is why we go out chanting on the streets and distributing books of Srila Prabhupada. And it will save your burning condition, that you won't burn in this material world. After chanting the Maha Mantra, you give up chanting, you can go back home, back to the spiritual world without returning. So, I'm going to just discuss a little. Can I take another 5 minutes?
Yes, sure, bro.
About this chanting of the Maha Mantra, what it can do to you, right? In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned, Sri Sikshastikam, 8 verses that Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. Who is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Yes, Lord Krishna himself. That you see Radha and Krishna on top of the picture there? They combined as one personality and appeared, that personality in the middle there, the 5 people, Panchatattva. In the middle there, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he has appeared as one person. Radha and Krishna as one. They are not different. Only the Lord can do that. You do that, husband and wife come as one person. Think you God. That is the foolishness of these people in the material world. Only the Lord can do that. And the Lord not only made himself as one, he expanded himself to the 4 other people. That's their Panchatattva, and they appeared on this material world to give us this chanting of this holy name. It didn't come from here, from Durban or Cape Town or something like that. This directly came from the spiritual world through the Supreme Person of God, Sri Krishna himself. So can you imagine how fortunate we are to chant the holy name? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. It's no ordinary name. So I'm going to just describe you a little bit about this holy name, how powerful it is. Just one verse of this. There's 8 verses, but I'm going to read only one verse. Chetano Dharpana Marjanam Baba Madhava Gani Nirvapanam Shriya Kairava Chandrika Vittaranam Vidya Vadu Jivanam Anandam Buddhi Vardhanam Pratipadam Purnam Ritas Vadanam Sarvatmasnapnam Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. Glory to this Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years together, and thus extinguishes the blazing fire of conditioned life, of repeated birth and death. This Sankirtan movement is a prime benediction for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss, and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious. How important this is. Because it's glorifying the chanting of the holy name. What the holy name does, this holy name, it cleanses the heart of the dust accumulated for years. It's being compared to a mirror. You know, a mirror, you leave it hanging somewhere and don't clean it. What happens to that mirror? It will collect dust, isn't it? Dirt upon dirt. If you don't clean it for years, thick dust. Then you have to take some polish and something, detergent, and polish it and polish it and polish it to clean it. And then you can see yourself. Otherwise you can't see yourself, isn't it? So simply like that, our heart has been dirty of sinful activities from many, many births. And to cleanse those dirty things, we have to chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And when that heart is clean, then you can see Krishna face to face. It will take a long time, but you have to have patience. You will see Krishna face to face. And then it also says here, it will extinguish the blazing fire of conditioned life. I explained you, blazing fire, I'm not going to explain again. By chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, you become very peaceful and happy, no anxiety, no load shedding, no water shedding, no mafia attacks of water tanks, and whatever they doing today. Even the electricity, they are governed by some mafias. I don't know what is happening. Nevertheless, and this is causing misery to us, isn't it? No, we are not getting water like that. So that is the difficulty. There are 3 kinds of miseries I'm not discussing in the material world: caused by other living entities, caused by natural catastrophe, and caused within yourself. These are 3 different kinds of miseries. That's always a burning our heart. The Sankirtan movement is a prime benediction. Means it is a boon or blessing in this material world for humanity at large, because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. Now it has been compared to the moon. The moon is very hot, isn't it, at night? It gives off heat, isn't it? Huh?
The moon is not hot.
What the moon gives them?
Light's cool.
Cooling light. And I'll give you another example, one more joke. Prabhupada said that. I'm giving all jokes of Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada says, what is the definition of a cigarette? Srila Prabhupada says, a cigarette is a cylindrical object, a fire at one end and a fool at the other. You know why? Because he lights the cigarette, the fire there, and he pulls that. It's so cool. But it's burning him inside. He pulls at it. It's so cool. And he speaks to his friend. Do you like to have a pull and feel cool? But he's burning within his heart. He gets blackened. And he suffers with some disease. Huh? And he says he's so cool. That is why he's such a big fool. This is the nature of the material world. Not understanding knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, not understanding who you are, what is your purpose, you suffer in this material world. So therefore we got to understand these things. Don't be cool like a fool. And it is a life of transcendental knowledge. That's supposed to be that's supposed to be our life. Because our nature, the spirit soul, what is the nature of spirit soul? I gave you the answer already. What is the nature of the spirit soul? When chilies, what is the nature of chilies? It's cool, isn't it? You put it in the fridge and take it out, it's very cool when you bite it.
It's hot.
It's hot. Can you change the pungent nature of the chilies?
No.
You can't change the pungent nature. What is the nature of water? Huh? It's liquid by nature. Can you change the liquidity of water? No, you can't. You might think you put it in the fridge and make it hard, but when you take it out and leave it outside, it becomes water again. So similarly, the soul is what by nature? Spiritual. That is the quality. Can you change the spiritual quality? No. But due to contact with material nature, we have taken on a material body. Therefore, we have become conditioned. But the soul is still spiritual, but it has become caught up within this material body. So in order to free yourself from this material body, you have to surrender to the Supreme Person of God. And in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 66, anybody can guess, you might know what the verse is. Very famous verse. We use all the time. Srila Prabhupada uses it all the time.
Abandon all varieties of dharma and surrender to.
Yes, sarva dharmam parityaja mammekam saranam raja amtam sarva papabhyo moksha samima sucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and simply surrender unto me. I shall remove all sinful activities from you. Do not fear. So therefore, when one surrenders to the Supreme Person of God, all the sinful activities that you have accumulated and you are suffering, this burning desire for you to enjoy separately from Krishna. When you surrender to Krishna and engage in loving devotional service, this burning desire that burns you, life after life, birth, death, old age and disease, birth, death, old age, disease, one birth after another birth will be put off by this knowledge of rain. It's compared to heavy rainfall, this knowledge. So therefore you can put it off like that. And how do you do that? One more time, everybody loudly. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So therefore, if you want to put this blazing fire off, chant Hare Krishna. Don't be cool like a fool. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anybody want to ask any questions very quickly? One, two questions. Anybody, one or two questions that you like?